Hello, everyone. Welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. Yes, I'm about to do Harry Kane like his wife after every hat trick he scores. I'm about to ride his meat. Pause, pause, pause. Oh my gosh, pause. No, seriously, those comments he just gave to The Guardian about his future at Bayern have reinvigorated my love for this player. Harry Kane, what a man. What a man. The Prince of Munich. My goodness. Hey, Prince William, you better be careful. There's a new king in that bloodline. This is royalty to me. Kane is such a player, such a human being, a real family figure. You know, Kane is like the antidote, the vaccine to this epidemic of players wearing trash bags and calling it drip. Kane dresses like a real man. He wears suits. He wears he's just an English gentleman. These are the comments I'm talking about. Comments coming from the best player in the world, the upcoming Ballon d'Or winner. By the way, who's to say Bayern can't win the Champions League and England won't go far in the World Cup? If that happens, Kane will win the Ballon d'Or. So, Harry Kane on the possibility of extending his contract at Bayern or a Prem return. In terms of staying, okay, let me read it in his accent. Yeah, because no one can understand him. He's worse than a Scouser when it comes to English. But no. All right. In terms of staying longer at Bayern, I could definitely see injected into my veins. You know what's crazy about Kane? He is so intelligent as a player. He doesn't need physicality or pace or anything like that to last a long time. Don't be surprised if at 37 years old, Kane is still one of the best players in the world. He is 32 right now, right? 32 or 33? I think he's 32. And he's getting better every year, which is crazy to me. Because beforehand, before in the past, if a player turned 30, you just thought, oh, yeah, he's cooked. It's over for him. Benzema won the Ballon d'Or at 34, right? So, I mean, Kane deserves to absolutely win the Ballon d'Or if he accomplishes as much as he's going to accomplish this season, hopefully. So, I would not have had those conversations with Bayern yet, but if they were to arise, I would be willing to talk and have an honest conversation. Obviously, it depends on how the next year or so goes, what we achieve together. Oh, this is perfect. We are in a fantastic moment, and I am not thinking about anything else. Perfect comments, by the way. In terms of the Prem, I don't know. If you had asked me when I first left to go to Bayern, I would have said for sure I would come back. Now I've been there a couple of years. I would probably say that has gone down a little bit, but I wouldn't say I would never go back. Apparently, Spurs have like a clause or some kind of gentleman's agreement with Bayern that if Kane were to return to the Prem, they would get the right to bid for him, which that's cool. I'd like to see him back at Tottenham. I don't want him going to a team that could be competitive against us in a big trophy, right? I am fully all in with Bayern. If there was a conversation about extending, then we will see. But I have still got this season, another season. It's not like I'm in my last year. It's not like there's any panic. I am calm. I love the manager at Bayern. That's great. Great to hear. As long as we are improving and I am improving, then I am happy to see what we can achieve. Kane on the Ballon d'Or. I would love to win the Ballon d'Or. Essentially, it is a team trophy that the best individual from the team wins. So it's going to be a Champions League winner or a World Cup winner. It would be an accumulation of doing something great individually and as a team. It would be almost the perfect season. Well, it would be the perfect season. Not almost, Harry. We know you want to win that trophy. Okay? Kane on developing as a player since he joined Bayern. When you win a title, maybe it could be easy to go the other way and be like, okay, I've done that. I've done what I wanted to achieve, but it's given me motivation to do more. My numbers are 11 kilometers a game, a lot of high speed running. Sometimes when I'm watching the games back, this guy watches the games back. That's great. I'm looking forward to watching tackles or one of my defensive actions than watching my goals back. I don't know if that means I'm getting a little bored of my goals or like the tackling part as well, but it's been enjoyable. I was interested in how I would feel after winning a trophy. It could have been easy to be a bit more relaxed. I pushed myself the other way, being even better, eating even cleaner, doing more gym. I do eat clean anyway. It's just whether the cheat meals after games are not so much. Okay, this guy's out here cheating. Only cheating he's going to do in his life because we know who Kane is, man. He's not going to cheat on his wife. Or when you're out with the family, not having as much ice cream, small details, but at the highest level, these make a difference. Kane is one of the players where he could go down and fricking have his knee in his hand, and I would just know he's not injured. So, I mean, he had some back issues. Was it last season or the season before? But it seems like that's a thing of the past. Am I a better player? I'd say yes, just the feeling I have on the pitch. I feel like the team we have this season is the strongest I've ever had. That helps when you're surrounded by that sort of team. Just the way I feel on the pitch, the way I'm moving, the way I'm seeing the game is at the highest level I've ever had. In terms of would I have been doing this at Bayern 5 years ago, maybe I would have been scoring these types of goals. It's impossible to say, of course. We had Oktoberfest on Sunday. I had one beer, which was enough in those big glasses. My girls were the dindles and all that, and it's becoming just part of our life now. I've been wearing it, Lederhosen, now 4 or 5 times, and it's just a nice part of the culture that they have there. It suits them. Our king, baby. Oh my gosh, I would fight for Kane. If they told me to pay up like a lot of money to see Kane lift the Champions League and Ballon d'Or, I would actually do it. I really like this guy. When we signed him, it was like one of the most ecstatic feelings ever because we just got a really good player and also a straightforward guy. Kane is taking care of his body at an elite level. He doesn't let himself go. I mean, it's very easy, like he's saying, to capitulate and start to compromise on your lifestyle and on your discipline after winning the trophy you have long wanted to win. But he just doubled down and said, well, I don't think he has long wanted to win the Bundesliga, to be fair. That's a given at Bayern. I think Kane wanted to win the Champions League, and that's why he came to a club that is constantly competing for the Champions League, whereas at Tottenham, he was competing to get into the top four. You had to qualify to get into the Champions League because, of course, the Prem is a more competitive league. But now he has an opportunity at a club with a lot of good players, a great coach, I think, to do something special this season. And it's up to Bayern how much success we have. In January, we have to make some big decisions. I think we need to bring in someone like Ademola Lookman, a goal-scoring threat off the bench, and also someone that can start games. We need to give ourselves that opportunity to win. I mean, that's the only way we're going to win that Champions League trophy. It's not as hard as people make it to win the Champions League. All you have to do is play every game perfectly. Yeah, that's why it's so hard, right? You have to have everything go your way, get lucky, and also play well. Because sometimes you can win that whole thing with luck. 2 years ago, Dortmund made it to the final. No, I think it was actually just last year. They made it to the final. Wait, no, it was PSG. No. Last year was it not Dortmund and Madrid in that final? Yeah. So yeah, last year. It's just because this year's almost done, so it feels like last year was like 2 years ago. Which, to be fair, it was 2 years ago in a way. Close enough. But Dortmund got to the final through the power of luck and friendship. They didn't have a great team. They just got lucky when it mattered and took their chances when they came. So with Bayern, we have the quality. It's not that we never had the quality, we do. And I think we actually have options now, especially in the midfield. It doesn't really matter what your defense is, as long as you can impose yourself in different phases of important games. with your midfield. Your midfield is really important in the Champions League because it's the difference maker, right? It's where the battles are won or lost. And so it's going to be interesting, but I'm happy with Kane at Bayern. I think this is his year, man. I really hope so. I'd like to see a player like him win the Ballon d'Or, proving that it's not just PR and, you know, anything crazy. He is like an exquisite player. You're not going to see a player like Kane in a long time. And I think, honestly, I know Tottenham fans watching this, or if they, I don't think any Spurs fans watch me, but let's be honest here. Like, your club really ruined Kane. Like, this guy gave you all those years, and Daniel Levy was just never building a super team to surround him with. That was the truth. Tottenham had Pochettino in that year in 2019. You guys were on top of the world. I remember watching you guys while I was in high school. Like, I remember that Spurs team. Moussa Dembele, was he still in that team? But like, I remember how good Spurs were. And then you would have thought after that Champions League final, where they're on top of the world and they're considered a bigger team than Arsenal at that point because of the Champions League final. You would think like Daniel Levy would have gone into another season and doubled down. He never got a better coach. I think they brought in Mourinho after, and was it Mourinho or did they do Nuno Santos first? No, I think it was Mourinho that they brought in. But they didn't. It's like, why? Like, you guys had to go for something more unique. And I think they got rid of Pochettino because, like, Poch took us to these lengths, but he didn't win. I think what they should have done was spend an extra 300 million on the team, buy some of the best, which to be fair, they kind of did. They bought, oh my gosh, that French guy, that midfielder. Ndombele. Oh my gosh, that's a memory unlocked. They did kind of start to build the team, but I don't know. They just didn't think of it the right way. Because when Liverpool under Klopp achieved everything, they still went into the window, right? They got rid of Mane. They brought Thiago Alcantara. They brought in players that could theoretically have taken them to another level. Now, it didn't really work out that way. And then they ended up with Arne. Well, actually, no. What am I talking about? It did work because they won the league, and then Arne Slot came in, and they continued to do well. So I just, yeah, whatever. Let's see what Kane can do at Bayern, at a club that I hope is serious about giving this guy everything he needs to win at the top level. And people might say, oh, Kane's a flop in big games. No, he's not, okay? I see Kane score so many goals when it counts. He is much more of a big game player than Robert Lewandowski was at Bayern. So that he has definitely surpassed whatever level he had to surpass to be considered a big game player. Now he just has the support. He has Olise. He has Luis Diaz. He has players around him now who can score when the lights are on them. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia, Sen Mia, and peace.